It's amazing how sport can be an aid toward healing and to get you through those tough times, especially team sports. And whilst it doesn't get rid of all the pain and suffering experienced when you're dealing with loss or bad news, it does allow for a place to go to reflect, switch off and recharge, and even be angry because you have your team around you that understand and want to support you. But they also know that if you're having a bad day or want to just be alone for a while, that's okay too. We want to tell you about a brave young man named Jay Oxley.
When he was younger, he was just a typical lad into computers, bikes, playing out with his mates. He was a big Nottingham Forest fan. He had a season ticket, went with his brother Harvey. I used to go to the games together. After leaving school, he went to agricultural college to study farming. His friend, so he used to have to co-op in a tractor to get food for the day and park it up in a space, take up about 3 spaces and go in and come back out.
He was very kind to me, he was very brave and he was really funny.
I remember on the last day of him being out at hospital, I went to the farm with his friends and we set fireworks off and quite dangerous. I remember I had a season ticket for us with him. We used to go every weekend, play football on the coolest seconds.
He was a very big character in our family. He was the biggest character in every room he walked into generally. He liked to talk a lot.
So he came home from college one day, complained he had a lump in his neck, it didn't hurt him, we just could feel a lump, so we just sort of assumed it'd probably be a gland or something. I said, oh, not to worry too much. And a few days later he came back from college really not well. We took him to the walk-in centre to get checked out that evening, and straight away you could tell they were worried about it, and they referred him next day to QMC. He was in for about 3 weeks it took to actually get diagnosed, and that's when they said it was cancer. He was diagnosed at 16 with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma T-cell. It was pretty much like leukemia, like a blood cancer, but you can get it in different lymph nodes around the body. It was a 3-year sort of maintenance plan for chemotherapy on and off over 3 years. But the outlook originally it was sort of 80% of people would be cured from it, and then the first lot of treatment didn't work, had no effect. So they did a trial chemotherapy on him, quite aggressive, which actually worked, and that got rid of the cancer, got him in remission. But with it being aggressive, they recommended he had a bone marrow transplant, which meant going to Sheffield Children's Hospital and having a transplant there.
He was my first nephew, so when he got ill, obviously it was a big shock, a big strain on the family and on me personally. He was ill for a year.
So just before Christmas 2016, while he was in QMC, he caught a flu virus. If you've had a bone marrow transplant, you have a weak immune system. He was struggling with it. So he went to Sheffield Children's Hospital. They're more specialised in that. A couple of weeks before he got a lot worse, took a turn for the worse and ended up in ICU. After a couple of days in there, they had to put him into an induced coma just while they could get antibiotics and they would try and get rid of the virus. And he started to improve slightly, so they decided to wake him back up from the coma. And he was awake for 3 days, but as he sort of came around more, he still couldn't breathe properly, really anxious with it. And Jay actually asked to be put back in a coma. I spent some time with him at night, and his mum did a bit swapping, sort of taking it turns. And I think it was 4 in the morning on Christmas Eve, and they said we're going to put him back to sleep again. So we got the children, Harvey and Ella, up. They told us that if we have to put him to sleep again, the sort of chances of ending up are really slim. And yeah, his last words were sort of Merry Christmas, and went to sleep, and then that was the last time I spoke to him. And then he died on the 9th of January.
Yeah, I miss him quite a lot.
Definitely miss him.
So the thing that really helped me get through the tough year was playing my hobby, which is softball. Softball family really helped me get through that. We play a lot of games, it's outdoor, mixed male and female. We go away for weekends on a lot of tournaments, which is a great escape throughout the last year or two. There's a lot of charities that helped not only Jay, but also my brother and family out throughout the hard times. So we found a great way to do this, raise money for the charities that helped along the way, and hopefully for future people. And also a great way for us to keep his memory going and show how much he meant to us all.
It was after Jay had passed that I sat down with Bex and a few other players, and we thought, why not play the game we love to raise awareness and funds to help support those families who are dealing with the loss and going through those difficult times.
But we don't do things by half at the Misfit Softball Club. So we'll be playing a non-stop softball game for a little while.
120 hours to be exact, and with this, set a new Guinness World Record for the longest softball game ever.
What's great about this is Misfits can't do it by ourselves, so we need the help from the softball community. We need lots of players for 5 days, and each player to raise up to £200 for this great charity.
We also need a ton of volunteers to help with day-to-day admin and event running.
Umpires.
General campsite organisers.
First aid.
Film crew.
Scorers.
Caterers.
Sponsors.
Lots of helpers.
The list goes on a bit, but I don't want to bore you with the fine details. If you're a player or a volunteer and want to join in, sign up below.
All players will be fed and watered throughout the event.
Did I mention that players have to be pitch side for the whole event? Well, we did say it was a challenge of huge proportion.
Well, I guess that gets the ball rolling. Fancy helping out and supporting a really good cause and becoming a Guinness World Record holder all at the same time?
No!